Hey guys, we got access to the playtest server, so I'm happy to bring you some information on the two new teams and how I think they're going to impact war. In this video, I'm going to show them both how they are interacting with certain teams on defense, teams that I think will be useful in taking them out at different levels of play. As far as the unlimited team goes, I have hopes, aspirations of using them on offense. That's going to take a little bit more testing, and I didn't want this video to run too long. So, stick around, and we're definitely going to have that video coming out soon. But let's see how we can handle these teams on defense. And we'll start with the really old team, the Z Factor versus the Unlimited. So this is the test server, so we're talking 4 red stars on everybody, all T4s, level 85, gear tier 15. So keep that in mind as we go through this. So this entire team does start with dodge, and so we don't get to flip that defense up, which puts us in an immediate trouble. The big thing that we need to do is we need to get a disrupt on this rogue before she takes her turn. She is the unlimited member that goes first. The reason we want to get a disrupt on her is because otherwise we're going to be locked behind just a crazy amount of debuffs. Now this matchup I would only take on a punch down, which, I mean, you might have that luxury, being that this team's pretty new, right? So we got the disrupt on rogue, that's fantastic. Now what I want to do is I want to take the gambit out because he's just pelleting my long shot with damage after damage. So we kill him with the basic. We save that big damage from the ultimate for the next character. Just trying to get these defense ups off of everybody. And unfortunately that blind on long shot, that's obviously really bad because we were banking on using his ultimate, right? And then you see, even with the changes, the subpar damage coming out of Phantom X, not really something to be too concerned with. What we do need to be concerned with, though, is Rogue's next ability. So her first ability does gigantic damage, puts taunt, a bunch of buffs on her, so she's like a super tank. This ability just wrecks your team. So one of the benefits of X Factor is that huge barrier they're getting along the way. So that kind of protected them from the Rogue. But we still want to kill her because she does an incredible amount of damage even after her cooldowns are burnt. So we'll throw the ultimate now. We pivoted just to get that defense up off of Phantom X. And there you go, Rogue's down. So this is obviously, this is done now. Phantom X is not soloing anybody, let alone a whole team. So now let's look at Z Factor versus Asgard. This matchup, again, this is balanced, obviously. I would only suggest doing this matchup on pretty drastic punch downs, at least 100k, and avoid boosted rooms. So that's a lot of criteria before I would ever suggest somebody takes this matchup. Because the way Valkyrie's kit works is every time somebody dies, she just does a stupid amount of buffs to her team in war, 100% chance, right? So you can kill her first, and that can be pretty helpful, but then Jane Foster is going to basically destroy you while you do that. And though Thor's ultimate and his new stats are great, Jane Foster is an absolute monster. So we really need to kill her. So as you see there, the buffs went out because Heimdall died, he died by splash damage. So we actually have the 3 most dangerous people left still. But X Factor with their speed, they get along really great. The safeguard is clearly protecting them while we go through this damage, and the dupes are just making us get peppered by all these Thor ultimates. So we'll finally get through Jane though. And now we'll go for Thor, so we're not getting hit by that passive anymore, which is great. And now he's down and nothing left to do but Valkyrie. So the Asgard team is an insane team. Any team that's getting safeguard, defense up, and disrupt, offense up, and does the ridiculous amount of damage they do is going to hold value. So please don't look at this video and say they lose to Asgard. They must suck. That is not the case. Let's look at A-Force versus Unlimited. Now I did put Doom with this team, but I quickly found out that wasn't necessary. I think this matchup would be perfectly fine on punch-ups. Probably 100, 150k easily, just because of how Nico's kit works. Right off the bat, I use the special because I don't want to take the defense ups off them, because I'd rather flip it. Right, so we flip it, we get that disrupt that we were talking about earlier onto the rogue, as well as defense down, and basically I could just go for the kill here. So we get offense down all over the place, and we get that ability block on rogue. And here we go. Captain Marvel's going to come in, just pretty much obliterate that that rogue. Oh, another thing I'll mention here, the ISO 8s on the characters I'm currently using suck. So my Jessica Jones is not a skirmisher, my Nico is not a skirmisher, and my Doom is whatever. So you see I didn't have a vulnerable there for Captain Marvel to actually use to finish off the rogue there. Otherwise, I think that rogue would have died. So not optimal setups, and it's working on Punch Across very, very well, actually. Without a fifth character, because I'm just using basics from Doom, I believe. Yeah, see, I don't even use a special. Doom would probably secure this for bigger punch-ups, though. Because you will land that ability block on Rogue, for sure. And if you get energy from Jessica Jones, GG, well played. And if you don't, you should survive till this second turn to finish off whatever's left. Alright, so there goes Phantom Max. Nothing left but Dazzler. So you saw two different trends of thought there. One, kill Rogue first, because we have insane burst damage turn one. Or kill everybody but Rogue and kill Rogue last. Now let's look at A-Force versus Asgards. This one, I'm actually going to take Doom out because he was not necessary. He was overkill again. Without Doom, this is punch across territory. So what I'm actually going to do is try and get that disrupt off of Sif so that I can actually get the defense downs to flip on the Sif and hopefully put disrupt on her. It didn't work. She kept the disrupt, or she kept the immunity. So I settled for Jane Foster, because again, I want to kill Jane Foster, but I knew right here I was going to get stuck behind the Sif. So once we kill the Sif, which happens right here, see, they get a big heal. But Nico with that disrupt, with that trauma, she really does stop all the buffs from happening from Valkyrie, which is great because Valkyrie's passive is just gigantic. It's super scary. Throw a slow on Thor since his turn meter is basically at 0. And now you see some big damage coming in from Jane Foster. So one of the secrets you can try and do in this matchup is kill two people at the exact same time. Say with like a Doc Ock ult or a perfectly timed Spider-Woman chain attack. If you kill both, then obviously you're not worried about the heal and all the buffs coming in from Valkyrie, even without having that the debuffs from Nico over there. But anyway, you see this is very clean. The reason I would suggest doing this on Punch Across is because on the off chance Jane Foster does get to use her devastating AoE abilities and Thor just starts popping off, it can get really stressful. At higher levels of play and like the 1.2 million powered when you're boosted in ward defense, it probably get pretty sketchy. Doc Ock adds a lot of sustain though, which is nice. Yeah, Valkyrie is such a tank too. Very surprised by how much damage she can tank, and she just never drops that disrupt, or the immunity rather. Of course though, if Nico and Jessica Jones were skirmisher like they are for me on the live server, we would have got through those buffs by now. See, she just got a vulnerable because I guess Nico probably crit or something. I don't understand Jessica Jones Striker or Nico Raider or why they would ever put them like that. It's just bad in my opinion. So if we did this, we would have to revert to using Eternals against the Young Avengers. I know that's where most people are using their A-Force Doom right now, is take Young Avengers. So if we use this team here, we got Eternals, Young Avengers. So there goes Valkyrie, and now we're done. I guess I'm gonna play it out for posterity sake, I guess. Doc Ock finally gets some stuff to flip. That's great. And there he goes. Perfect. This is supposed to read Infinity Watch versus Unlimited. Love this load screen, by the way. She looks great. I was a little worried about this one, actually. But as you see, it's pretty secure. So we'll start by getting all those dodges off. And this is actually the first time I took this matchup. There might very well be, and pretty much for all these matches actually, there very well might be a better order to take in the killing. So you see all those buffs from Rogue there, pretty scary. We'll do a Terminator rewind here. We're stuck behind the taunt. I actually don't mind using it on Rogue because her next attack is gigantic. Okay, see all that big damage coming in now? We can actually, I think, even though the safeguard is there, we could steal those death proofs. It's just she'll keep the death proof as well. This is unavoidable, the special, so we can use it wherever we feel like it. I think I ended up using it on Sunfire to stop him from using his special. His special gives like counters and offense up and a bunch of nasty stuff we don't want to have to deal with. Yeah, that's the right call. A good reason why Infinity Watch is okay in this matchup is basically because they don't have the whole no assisting mechanic, right? Asgard, Dormammu, Morgan, even Silver Samurai, they all have that new Echo. They have that new mechanic where there's no assist coming in, which really hinders how Infinity Watch operate. Alright, so Sunfire is dead, and now we're going to go for the Gambit. Like, you might be tempted to go for Phantom or Dazzler because of not wanting to deal with the stealth from either Rogue or Gambit. I think that's an error, though. Personally. If I were to redo this, I'd have gone back to Rogue at this point. Because I don't think Gambit has entered his first stealth yet. Alright, so we apparently have Striker and Adam Warlock as well. Again, I would prefer him as a skirmisher. Yeah, see, now we're stuck behind the Phantom X taunt. I think we could have killed Rogue had we not pivoted to Gambit for so long for no reason. But here you go. Here's a big heal. Put some defense down out there. Gambit's going to die to the bleeds. Now Rogue's dead, and now we got this. So even though I feel like we really played that poorly, you can see pretty secure matchup here. I don't hate this use for Infinity Watch either. Now let's do Infinity Watch versus Asgard. So again, everything's balanced. I know a lot of people are going to have gigantic Infinity Watch and only face small Asgards. I think the matchup will be safer than what you're going to see here. But I knew I was going to get stuck behind Sif. And I knew Valkyrie was just going to do a bunch of healing, so I figured I'd just lean right into that. And I'd go right for the Sif, take her, because she's pretty squishy. Just once she gets that safeguard and everything, it gets a little bit more difficult. So I put the ability block on Jane Foster because she does, like, just insane abilities. I'd honestly rather Thor use his stun on me than let Jane Foster do all her stuff. There you go. We actually got defense down on the flip on everybody, which is pretty nuts. And there you go. Just by happenstance, looks like I took the opportunity to pivot to Thor, take him out. So there he goes. And there's all the buffs, the cleanse, the craziness. And this, I think, was a mistake. So I do think to keep leaning into the Sif would have been the right move, even without the defense down. Or at least the Jane Foster. But here you go. Look what this Jane Foster does. That's defense up on my giant... Well, it's not my Infinity Watch, I guess. But that's defense up into Infinity Watch. And Jane Foster takes like 50% of their life. And now Sif is just popping off, and she's getting all kinds of healing. She got defense down at least, though, so that gets flipped. And then I think we're going to take out Sif here, I hope. Yeah, so there's going to go Sif from the Nebula Assist. Once all those counters come through. Or there's going to be no Nebula Assist for some reason. That's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm not sure if there's a mechanic I'm missing or if that's an error. But anyway, there you go. Another full heal for the team. All those buffs. So you see how this can get out of control pretty quickly. So there you go. Oh, hey, buddy. Alright, guys, we got a special commentator joining us. We're not touching anything, though, okay? We're just watching. You want to say hello? There you go. So as you see, guys, the Asgardian team with that Valkyrie mechanic just keeps pinging back like crazy. So again, I think there's probably a better targeting method. He just woke up from a nap. I think there's probably a better targeting method where we probably start with Valkyrie or with Jane Foster, and this gets a little bit cleaner. But as is, this match was pretty sketchy compared to the Unlimited one. After, okay. Watch tractors after. So yeah, just the two now, and at least we don't have to worry about the Valkyrie passive. We do get through this just in the most disgusting way possible. So just the 1v3 now, and obviously once Nebula actually starts doing her job and doing some assists, this is going to go by pretty quick. And there you go. Now we only have one more team to show you, and that's going to be an Eternals team. And really it's just Eternals plus Emma is all you really need. I'm going to throw Hela in there because I have no other place for her. And I don't even know who the fifth I chose here. Well, I threw in Ghost for whatever reason. Just because I don't have a home for her. We're going to flip the dodges anyway. So it doesn't really matter who you attack there. Now we get the flips. That's one turn me around. You cannot bring Loki because of the dodges, though. Keep that in mind. There's some more. And now you see the Unlimited team. They're in so much trouble. There's not the cleanse, but the slow. L is going to come in. We do have immunity on the Rogue and the Gambit now, which is pretty annoying. But now Gambit's gone. And now Phantom X is gone. Nothing left to do but Rogue, so you'd think that'd be no problem. And just watch what Rogue does. Just insane damage. That's 2 turns back to back. Pretty nutty. She does have immunity plus all those buffs that we know she gets. But in a 1v5 against the Eternals, she can't do it on her own. And honestly, if she had chosen anyone besides Icarus, she could do her entire burst and the Eternals would just pop back. So out of these teams, who do I like the most against the Unlimited X-Men? I kind of like A-Force the most. But Infinity Watch works just as well. So I think I'm going to be sticking with Infinity Watch first then. And then we have the Eternals versus Asgard. And here I am going to use Loki, and did I even take a 4th person? I might not have. I didn't even take a 4th person. You really don't need a 4th person, so this is like the evil Asgard revenge. There's 1 turn meter rewind. Let's get Thor a little bit lower. And then let's let Icarus do his thing. And that's it. They all died. So, in conclusion, what I'm personally going to be doing when I'm facing these like 1.2 million power teams, I'm going to be using Infinity Watch versus Unlimited. I'm going to be using Eternals against the Asgard team. And I'm going to have a room for Hela and Loki now, which is great. So they're not out of the game. And then A-Force will continue to do Young Avengers. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Say bye-bye, Jacob.
Bye-bye.
Want to watch tractors?
Wait.